Okay, fantastic. All right. So on our last Twitter space, I brought up a theory I have been working on called the Ngige Paradox. A bunch of obedience, even from Edo State, gave me another angle to this theory. They called it the Osumbo Paradox because apparently something like this happened in Edo State. But
Yes, yes.
The Ngige Paradox is a very fair and apt name because it involved Peter Obi in Anambra State. So I think it makes it more powerful than the Osumbo paradox, which I'm currently investigating. And when I'll be able to draw those similarities, I'll break them down for you. So let's just if it, please, I'll be urging you. Maybe you go and call your friends that have left the space to come and listen to this again, so that we really get all of this together. So let's start here with the man called Chris Ngige. All right. Now, apparently, you can Google this everywhere. Chris Ngige was abducted while he was a governor. The whole theory I'm going to read to you is very important as to why the process by which you answer your excellency must be excellent. If you know anything about a man becomes more intelligent by what he experiences, not necessarily even by what he reads or what he sees. It's what he experiences that makes a man. Peter Obi is a political genius because of what he has experienced. Let me read you something. Now, apparently, Peter Obi, in the beginning, when he was governor of Anambra State, 3 times the mandate that was given to Peter Gregory Obi was stolen by the PDP. And 3 times, Peter Obi recovered that mandate through sheer doggedness, honesty, and downright sincerity. Now, let me give you a history how this happened. The first time, Peter Obi had won the election in Anambra State by a landslide. The state was in chaos in April of 2003. Just cast you in April of 2003. Anambra State had had a governor called Governor Chinwoke Mbadinuju. He became governor in 1999. He did 1 term and was such a disaster as a governor. He was known to actually have a killer squad, and people who spoke against him were known to have been killed, even down to the very funny death of the head of the Nigerian Bar Association, and I think his wife. If you remember how terrible Mbadinuju was, then there's no need going into his history. Peter Obi came in as governor in April of 2003. The people of Anambra massively voted for a young man who had started his political campaign with a new party called APGA. APGA at the time was not the PDP, it was not the party in power. So maybe today Peter Obi start to the run election with some brand new party and has won elections. We move. Now, this mandate was stolen and by the PDP and given to Chris Ngige. Peter Obi went to court to retrieve that mandate. Now, while the court case was grinding on painfully and slowly, all kinds of offers were made to Peter Obi to abandon his petition and let Chris Ngige continue as governor of Anambra State. Now, this is crazy because I'll tell you something that happened factually when the court case was going on. It is on record on Sahara Reporters that out of the blue, President Obasanjo told a shocked nation that the rigger of the election was a man called Chris Uba, and the beneficiary of the rigging was Chris Ngige. Apparently, Obasanjo was forced to make this statement when in his living room, Chris Uba had told Chris Ngige, "You know you did not win the election." And Chris Ngige had replied in front of the president, "Yes, I know I did not win." The tribunal subsequently sacked Ngige, a number of people rejoiced, and Peter Obi was made the governor. Now, despite Ngige's pretenses to being an acting governor, Ngige went to the appeal court and was defeated there again, and Peter Obi was then installed as governor in March of 2006. So let me now take you people. There's a reason I gave you this preamble, to take you people to what happened between 2003 when Ngige stole Peter Obi's mandate, and the 3 years Peter Obi was in court fighting for that mandate. This is where we have the theory of the Ngige Paradox. What is the Ngige Paradox? The Ngige had his Peter Obi had his mandate stolen by 3 brothers. They were the Uba brothers. If you think Lagos has only 1 Jagaban, Anambra had 3, and there were 3 brothers. These brothers got together and put in Chris Ngige as governor of Anambra State. They had no plans for greatness. Let me remind you people, Chris Ngige did not come into Anambra State to work. The plan was to come in, embezzle money, and bankrupt the state, them regular trademark. There was confirmed stories where the Uba brothers had told Ngige that Ngige would give them the responsibility of choosing at least 90% of his cabinet. Ngige was also meant to be giving them a certain amount of money from the state coffers for doing nothing, just by being his political godfathers. After all, this was quote unquote the money they had spent on the election to get him in. Same thing with the Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC government. If you think that this government had planned to come into power to work, it is a lie. Use Buhari and know the level of impunity they had planned. Use the fact that they did not go for any debates, they did not go and speak to the Nigerian people even once all through the campaign season. The plan was to come and thief money and recoup all they had spent in the election cycle. And that is where we get to the Ngige Paradox. Anytime any government in power does not have a strong opposition that literally sets fire to their nyash, that government will not work. I promise you that if Muhammadu Buhari had had a movement on his tail as strong as the obedient movement from day one, he would have blocked Twitter probably earlier, or he would have been a more responsible president a long time ago. But we had left all this opposition. We had left all this opposition to the PDP, who were doing a shoddy job, and all they were planning to do was, we'll kiss ass here, kiss ass there. If we win, you know the rule, they cross carpet to the other side, and the game continues to the detriment of the Nigerian people. So this was where this paradox started from. Chris Ngige was forced to work and work well in Anambra State. He had no option. The young man had taken him to court in an election tribunal as far back as 2003 in a Nigeria that had just come out from military rule barely 3 years ago. The man could not understand what was going on. But obviously, they knew that they had rigged their way into power, and even in any court of law, Chris Ngige could never be established as governor of Anambra State after any sort of tribunal. He knew. So what was the game? To start working. Oh, Chris Ngige tarred roads in Anambra State. Let me remind you people that Chris Ngige's problem with his political godfathers in Anambra State started because he started working with the money that he had promised to be dashing his godfathers. Chris Ngige could not afford to give his godfathers 90% of the state appointments because there was a young man called Peter Obi, former bank MD, billionaire in dollars, respectable human being with the pedigree to be a great governor on his tail. And even worse, like what happened in 2023, that man had legally won the election. Oh, Ngige worked. Ngige was going everywhere. Short man devil. He was everywhere. And as what is happening now, it happened in Anambra State. The influencers at the time started saying, hey, Peter Obi, maybe you should withdraw your petition after all. The process by which Ngige is answering your excellency was not excellent, but he's showing some signs of excellence. Same thing Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing today. This was how Ngige was going. Ngige will go. Ngige did what they call road revolution in Anambra. He was fixing roads, tarring roads. Ngige was doing everything doable to get eligibility on the side of the Anambra people. But let me remind you of something. When the tribunal, after 2.5, 3 years, gave Peter Obi back his mandate, there is one road Peter Obi built in Anambra State that makes every road Ngige built look like coins. It is the 10-lane express that you drive when you land in Anambra State from the bridge in Onitsha. Excellence. Bola Ahmed Tinubu built 3-lane express from Bonny Camp or to VGC Aja and put 2 toll gates there. Peter Obi built 10-lane express in Anambra, free for all. He would have built that express to Enugu State, but the federal government of the PDP did not even allow him build because it was federal road. Let him not take the glory of that road. That road is still functional till today. Go and verify. What Peter Obi achieved for Anambra State people dwarfed Chris Ngige in less than 3 years. We don't remember, when we speak of Anambra now, we don't even call Chris Ngige at all. And also to show you how much of a fraud Chris Ngige was made Minister of Labour and led Nigeria into multi-dimensional poverty and the highest unemployment rate in this country at 65% unemployment rate. The highest ever. The highest ever. If he was that spectacular as he claimed as a governor, Peter Obi has been spectacular in every other position he has held since he left governance. Chris Ngige was made common minister of labor. And between him and Lastus Keyamo, they plunged the Nigerian people into more unemployment. Oh, Chris Ngige went to all the markets in Anambra then. He was known to all the traders. He was dashing money left and right. He met all the royal fathers in Anambra, sat down. He has pictures with them. Chris Ngige has, look, in that 2 or 3 years Chris Ngige was governor, he did more than. But when Peter Obi entered, we now understood that excellence, there's a difference. Peter Obi dwarfed every single thing. So if we had agreed, if Peter Obi had even agreed that, okay, cool, maybe Ngige built a road here, a road there, a market here, a market there, and is good friends with a royal father here and shook the hands of some students there, maybe he should continue. We would not have had a 10-lane express in Anambra State that has lasted from 2006 till date. The Ngige Paradox is what is haunting Bola Ahmed Tinubu today. There is a reason why when Bola Ahmed Tinubu started running for president, out of all the politicians in this country, Ngige, Dr. Chris Ngige, the current Minister of Labour, or just former Minister of Labour, said, I am not supporting any candidate and did not put out his support for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, despite the fact that he's in the APC. Go and verify. Ngige refused. Why am I saying this? Let me give you a quick rundown of what Bola Ahmed Tinubu has achieved in the last 1 week. For the idiots that come out and tell you, hey, man, he's walking. He's walking. Let me start here. In the last 1 week, Bola Ahmed Tinubu removed subsidy in the worst way possible, in the most retarded and dumbest way possible. In the last 1 week, we almost ended in national chaos, but they have gone to fragment the Nigerian Labour Congress, which had planned to go on a strike. If you remember, all the APC does is divide and destroy. There is nowhere in their constitution for divide and conquer. The NLC has been rendered a toothless bulldog as we speak. In the last In 1 week of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's governance, the DSS went into the EFCC office and scattered everywhere. Please, obedience, be noticing the way the DSS will be moving under this Nazi regime. Just notice the word DSS. Notice them. It got to the point Tinubu had to put his mouth inside infighting between parastatals and departments. The DSS went into the EFCC and were arresting people. Today, the DSS has arrested the former CBN governor. I hate Emefiele up and down. What are the charges? What can we start obeying law and order in this country? What are the charges by which the CBN governor was arrested? A man with non-cartel links. And everybody this week, if there's anybody I will commend, please, if you're from Edo State, go and help me thank the Oba of Edo State, the Oba of Benin. In that useless meeting of Tinubu with the royal fathers today, one royal father was conspicuously absent, and that was the Oba of Benin. Because the Oba of Benin, like the people of Benin and Edo States, they stand for the truth. And I must commend them. I want to remind you, nothing has been done in 1 week. Hit the ground and running. Hit the ground fast and running. Day 2, keep running. Day 3, don't stop running. Nothing has happened in the last 10 days. In the last 1 week. Matter of fact, I will also show you proof that on the first day, I will post a link on the Jumbotron. This is called Tinubu's First Week in Aso Rock by Leon Osigbe, June 7, 2023. You can Google this for yourself. Go to the book of Google, the Nigerian Tribune newspapers, Tinubu's First Week in Aso Rock. Now, let me blow your mind. This is something you need to crack up. A man who told you that I will hit the ground running on my first week. Let me read this to you. After his inauguration, Tinubu resumed duties in the presidential villa as president on May 30th. It was not a smooth start. He arrived at the forecourt of his office in Aso Rock nearly 2 hours late. This was a new experience in the villa because we have been used to the promptness of the last 8 years of Buhari. Believe it or not, at least they said Buhari used to come for meetings early. Mr. Hit the ground and running from day 1 came to office 2 hours late on day 1. All these things he's doing, you would think that he's working, but wait till the man who legally won that position gets into power. They are all being haunted by the Ngige Paradox. Breaking news an hour ago states that Mele Kyari, the head of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, has been suspended. What are the stories you are seeing on the timeline? Hey, Tinubu is serious. How much Tinubu mean these people? Tinubu ready to... Didn't Buhari do the same with Dasuki? Didn't Buhari do when he came in? Dasuki, everybody, yeah, who remembers how they were dragging Olisa Metu that time? And then it was 8 years of disaster and chaos. Let me just say this. A friend of mine was cracking up. He said, N6, you don't know this about that. He knows one of the Supreme Court judges on our case. And that the man was complaining the other day about the price of fuel. And that he had to send his driver to buy petrol for him. I laughed. I said, she's Supreme Court judge. I want to know whether APC... The only thing APC could do this week was to increase the retirement age of judges to 70 years. APC will still, I bet you APC will still give 100 liters to every Supreme Court judge just to, quote unquote, ease their stress to tribunal and back. Look, Muhammadu Buhari and Yemi Oshibanjo destroyed this country under the APC. Tinubu is not in Aso Rock under another party. Tinubu did not run his campaign with a different set of people than the people in APC under Buhari. You have seen their pictures and their videos. You have seen all the people in Aso Rock of late. Nobody, there's no new face in Aso Rock that was not there 8 years ago. So even Wike is in Aso Rock as we speak, canvassing for positions. He is not bringing anybody new. In the last 1 year of elections, he has not frolicked with any technocrats. It has been Dele Alake, Keyamo, and the rest of these charlatans. He has nobody new. He played his best first 11 under Buhari. Fashola, Kemi Adeosun, was the one minister for public holiday. He played his best first 11. His second 11 is Sonolu, Dakwa Abiodu, Keyamo, Alake. Those ones are even more retarded than Fashola and the rest of them. So this is the second 11 they are bringing now. So any policy you see, if they tell you that we have a policy to deregulate the electricity sector, just like the way they did subsidy, it will be terribly and disastrously done. You will not gain anything. Please, all eyes must remain on the judiciary. Do not fall for this Ngige paradox. It is a smoke screen. I repeat, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu turns 1 naira to $1, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu makes it possible that the Nigerian passports can travel to every country in the world, I repeat, the process by which he is answering your excellency must be excellent. If not, he should honorably go and come back in 2027 when it will be him versus Atiku and Speed Darlington. I repeat, if a man steals your car, if a man stole your house and is living in your house and is driving your car, but he has repainted your house or repainted your car, he has bought new tires, he has put deck, he has put speaker in the trunk. Anytime he's driving through your hood, he's jamming music in your car has a new paint job, your car is playing beautiful music. As long as he stole your car, there is no point in your brain or in the history of everdom or neverdom where a human being was stolen from and he allowed the person who stole it from him keep what was stolen because he was keeping it well. Even in the law, if you go to the law and say, yeah, this person stole my house, but I mean, since he stole my house, he's been a great guy. He's fenced my house. He put barbed wire. He's even repainted my house. I couldn't afford to repaint my house back then. The law will carry your house and give it back to you to do as you wish. You can leave your house overgrown with weeds. But technically, legally, and on all fronts, that house does not belong to the person. Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not win the presidency. Aso Rock does not belong to him. He can go and come back. He can plan and come back with Shetima. And when they come back the next time, they can do it properly, do their nomination properly. But as for this one, they don't get this one or work wrong. They don't work this one well. They didn't. So let us just face this fact. Because according to the Ngige Paradox, a lot of you are going to be Anambra citizens between 2003 and 2006. That girl on Twitter, that silly influencer girl that will put a plate of food and eat till she's pot-bellied. I saw a tweet from her today. Hey, maybe we should leave Tinubu. Maybe we should just leave Tinubu. He seems to, just in this 1 week alone, he has caught this person. He is doing this. He has done this. Yeah, maybe we should. Maybe I should go to that girl and steal all her properties and keep her properties well and keep them well. And let me see how she would feel. Maybe she would leave all her property with me. Nigerians, last but not the least, there is something called the conformity experiment. Let me read to you the conformity experiment. The conformity experiment is an interesting project idea. You use it to learn about the psychology of conformity. What does the conformity experiment tell you? It was discovered by psychologist Solomon Asch in the 1950s. It demonstrates the impact of social behavior of social pressure on individual behavior. Participants were used to do experiments such as, very funny experiments. Let me explain this. Imagine a scenario and you're in a mathematics class. You're seated at the back of the class. The instructor asks a very simple mathematics question. What is 8 times 4? The answer to that is 32. The teacher now starts asking individual students in the room for the answer. Now imagine that you're in that room. There are 20 students in the room. The teacher asks 19 of the students, what is 8 times 4? And every student says 27, 27, 27, 27. The smart students, 27. The female students, 27. The students in front, 27. If it gets to you as the 20th person, conformity bias dictates that there's a high possibility that 90% of human beings will answer 27, even though they know the answer is 32. Make it no just be like, make I no just be the one way be say, hey, in short, I'm obedient to, but let me start supporting Tinubu now. This one is already president. Make it no be like, say, where if Obi loses in court, it go be like, say, you don't enter conformity bias like this. You don't enter conformity problem bias, they go. Do not fall for the Ngige paradox. It is a conformity bias. Ngige today cannot win an election anywhere in this country. But the man, Peter Obi, is still flourishing politically. He's still they flourish politically, they go. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I cannot be on any space that will be on the top 10 greatest Twitter spaces ever held. But the man who lawfully won the election in Nigeria can be on that space with a bunch of young Nigerians. None of us is an influencer. I want to remind you, neither me, neither Saddam with my 20,000 plus followers, or Saddam with his manageable followers, or Tumba with about 10,000. None of us does influencer numbers. But the rightful president of Nigeria can come on a Twitter space, speak with anybody he feels like, greet some people's parents, have Madam Bolale read him a Bible verse, be prayed for by other people, wish General Oluchi a happy birthday, and that space will still be the number 8 greatest space held in the world, because the man is excellent, and the process by which he became excellent is an excellent process. So there will be a lot of Ngige movements by the APC over the course of the next few weeks. Have you heard today that they are planning to ban fairly Tokumbo clothes? They've started again. This is how they were doing rice. They want to stop Okereka so that all of you will buy what are these dresses? Chidema dress that cost 150,000.
They want me to begin wearing leave and animal skin.
They want
Animal skin. You must
people,
go back to the.
My brothers, when my brothers were relocating to the UK, we went and looked for Okereka jackets, Okereka ski jacket, snow jacket for them. They want people to go and buy Melodia dress, 80,000. They want people to go and support their daughters that have opened money laundering outfits, all in the name of fashion houses. And the worst part about these demons is they will ignore the thousands of young Nigerian youth who are into thrift. The millions of young Nigerian youth who are selling Okereka bags, Okereka outfits, and making a living from it. They will not take them into account. They will tell you that is the textile industry. If the Nigerian textile industry is good enough but cannot compete with Okereka, then what are they good for? If the Nigerian textile industry cannot go and compete outside, then why are you bullying the Nigerian people to follow their textile industry? If they've not found ways to make it more appealing and cheaper, and considering the market and the earning power of the Nigerian people, why are we then deceiving ourselves that we even have an industry? This is what they did with rice. This is what they did with rice and ended up with bags of rice at 48,000. But it's local rice made locally. But meanwhile, minimum wage is 30,000. Bola Ahmed Tinubu will make a lot of nice sounding policies. But I promise you that without empathy, without a plan for the cutting of the cost of governance, anything is telling you is babas, because implementation wise it will be F9. The removal of subsidy is a fantastic policy. It will save Nigeria a lot. Its implication is what matters. Bola Ahmed Tinubu's implication of subsidy removal was F9. So while you're forming for the Ngige Paradox, while you are listening to all these influencers telling you maybe he's not so bad, please remember the process by which he's answering Your Excellency was not excellent. And that is what fundamentally matters. He stole a mandate. He should return it first. Let the rightful person do what he's meant to do. And then he, as Bola Tinubu, can learn where he fucked up in this electoral cycle. And if he's coming back again, he can choose to come back properly. If he has 4 more years in him. I have never wished a man death in my life. So Nigerians, please, the Ngige Paradox will be played heavily. This party is the party of gaslighting. That word gaslighting never existed in our political sphere till APC started to exist in 2014. And it has come to stay because that is their stock in trade. Don't fall for it. I tell you, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will legalize marijuana. He will legalize marijuana. I know he will do everything because eligibility is what he's looking for right now. But he stole the car of Peter Obi. And no matter how many times he paints it, puts TV screen, takes it to West Coast Customs, visits exhibit, puts 40-inch rims, puts spinning rims on it, he should first return the car back to the owner. Then we can start discussing the fact that he has always wanted to be a car owner and has no car. And that is how things are done anywhere in the world. They came in via unconstitutionality, and you can see them running unconstitutionality all through, to the point that the leader of the House of Reps is now in the presidency without relinquishing his post in the House of Reps. Please, Nigerians, do not fall for this rubbish. I am an Anambra boy. The Edos will also tell you that when somebody gives you a paradox, trust me, that whenever the person who originally owns the property gets his property back, the way that person will treat the property will prove to you that the usurper who stole that property can never love the property like the true owner of the property. Nobody who steals the child of a woman can ever love that child and raise that child as well as the mother can. It is data. You can't argue with it. So Nigerians, please be wary of this paradox. It will be in your face over the next couple of days. They will impress you. Bola Tinubu might get up today and do a meet and greet of all the 70-year-olds in this country and above. Shake their hands, take picture with them, give all of them $100. Na lie you. Tomorrow, $1 can be ₦1. Na lie you. As long as the process of which is answering Your Excellency was not excellent, I'm sorry. Peter Obi is coming. And the election tribunal will be forced to do the needful because they stole this election clear in front of the people. INEC today, I beat my chest and tell you that if Bola Ahmed Tinubu had won this election clean and clear and had the data and facts to prove it, those data and facts would have been on a documentary on TVC by now. He would have been telling you about it every day. But the first statement he told you with a snicker on his face was, I know many of you did not vote for me. Do you remember what his face looked like when he made that statement during his first speech? Nigerians have a funny memory. We have been so abused. Nigerians can be abused, kidnapped, tortured, beaten. I don't like the word rape, but Nigerians can be abused and manhandled for 24 hours, for 23 hours. But if you free the Nigerian on the 24th hour and give him a lollipop and an ice cream, the Nigerian will turn and say, hey, at least when he was abusing me and raping me, he was using lubricant. The rape wasn't so bad. I don't know. But there are those of us who have a better memory than the average Nigerians. And we hold slights, we hold anger, we hold malice, and we hold revenge. Because we remember the guidelines that were told to us for this election by Mahmoud Yakubu. When we came on the violence space and had a space indicting Mahmoud Yakubu that he was not going to follow the guidelines, Mahmoud Yakubu did a video. That video was to insult us on violence space. He just didn't come out to call violence space, telling us that there is lies, is this, is that. Things it will be transmitted from the polling units. All eyes on the judiciary. We will get back our mandates. Peter Obi is the rightful president of this country. And I promise you, when Peter Obi becomes president, bookmark this last thing I'm saying. That is where you will now see the real hit the ground and running 1 week into governance. And not this bullshit and this charade that we have had over the course of the last few days. I yield. God bless you all and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. Let me just add one thing. To that Ngige, when we were talking about Ngige Paradox, the only thing he was doing was building roads. And in the usual Nigerian fashion, when you're doing small projects, people will be hating you. He was just building
Same way
roads.
Wike was doing flyovers. It was just roads, Saddam. There's nowhere you can Google achievements of Ngige that you
It's
see
only roads
anything
now.
apart from roads.
It's just roads. Schools were still, workers were still old salary. People were still pensioners were still old their
Remember,
pension.
Peter Obi came in and met those problems.
Yes, now he
Remember,
had to
those are the
fix it
problems
now.
they used to fighting today. The doctors were on strike for 1 year. But there was a governor for 3 years before he got
For
that.
3 years, yeah. Yeah, so he met all those work, but he was just building roads. And Anambarians were telling Peter B, don't contest, allow him to run because he's building road, just road. So you see, it is important for us to understand what this full submission by NCs. But I think let's just keep the conversation rolling. Thank you very much, my brother. I think that part of the space, Joel the Obedient, I hope you do justice for us on that. Well, Nigeria, back to you.
Yeah. NCs. When they see someone preach a sermon.
But before that, please, Joe first. I mean, guys, check the jumbotron. Parallel fires have cooked. Please, people should go and eat. Please go to the jumbotron. Parallel fires have been cooking. Please, people should be retweeting our news now. Be retweeting our news now. Be reading our news now. Valencia, please.
Please, Nigerians. Sorry, Saddam. Sorry, my brother, well-meaning. Let me just say this in 1 minute. Please, do not feel a drop of pity for Orji Uzor Kalu. I know you people don't feel pity for him. But there's something I drum on this space a lot. Just for the Jeffrey Gottemans and those of you who might not even be Nigerians listening to my voice right now, and you are wondering, why is this man crying in the Senate? Please don't forget that Orji Uzor Kalu, who is getting up today to say Nigeria is unfair to him, Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. Google this thing. Orji Uzor Kalu took the governor that came after him, Theophilus Orji, to a shrine, made Theophilus Orji naked, took pictures with Theophilus Orji, and made Theophilus Orji swear that when he becomes governor, he will pack all the appointments, the same thing they did with Ngige. Orji Uzor Kalu did that in Abia State. This is Google. That man that is crying today is on Google with the governor of Abia State the governor he put after he had done his 2 terms, his boy that he put into office. He made that boy go and swear at a voodoo shrine, that man at a voodoo shrine, took pictures of that man and leaked those pictures when the governor complained that the stress, that what he's requesting as a godfather was too much. Orji Uzor Kalu released the pictures of Theophilus Orji. Google this: Abia, governor, naked, swearing, shrine. And this same Orji Uzor Kalu is now getting up today to tell you people that he wants to be this same man. So that everybody that will be in the Senate, he will carry them to that shrine and swear. You guys, let's not forget these things. These are evil.